Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. This is Brad Cartwright with Econ Course Companion, and this is the first IB Core Concepts video for the macroeconomic portion of the syllabus, and it's called Foundations of Macroeconomics. And these are the things that the IB economics folks dictate that you learn in this chapter. Here we go. All right, check it out. When you finish this chapter, you need to be able to list the five main economic goals. You need to be able to describe and illustrate the circular flow of income model of the economy for a closed economy and an open economy with government and financial markets. Can you do that? If you can't, stay up and study. If you can, go to bed or continue on to make sure that you can do the rest of it. Distinguish between the output approach, the income approach, and the expenditure approach to measuring national income. Remember, the IB does this expenditure approach to measuring income, but you need to know and distinguish between all three. You also need to be able to define and distinguish between GDP and GNP, also known as GNI, as measures of economic activity. This is where the whole GDP and friends come in, right? You need to be able to define and distinguish between total GDP and GNP, GNI, and per capita GDP and GNP, GNI, okay? All of these gross domestic product stuff and gross national product is super important so that you understand the difference about where the money is coming from that they're counting, right? When applying it towards the sort of health of the economy. Also, you need to be able to define and distinguish between nominal value of GDP and GNP, GNI, and the real value of GDP and GNP, GNI. Need to explain the meaning and significance of green GDP. You need to be able to evaluate the uses of national income statistics. You need to be able to explain and illustrate the business cycle and its phases. Can you do that? The boom, the trough, the recession, the contraction, the expansion. Can you understand what that means in terms of unemployment, in terms of inflation, in terms of economic growth? The business cycle is huge. It's never going away in your studies. It's the key idea, one of the key ideas along with the circular flow of income of understanding macroeconomics. Can you distinguish between a decrease in GDP and a decrease in GDP growth? All right? GDP is going down, and a decrease in GDP growth is when it's still growing, but at a slower rate than the year before. And for you HL folks, can you calculate nominal GDP from national income data using the expenditure approach? Can you? Can you calculate GNP or GNI from data? Can you? Can you calculate real GDP using a price deflator? All right, those are the HL specific things, but all of it applies to both SL and HL. And these are the things in the foundations of IB macroeconomics you need to be able to do in order to feel comfortable that you have done all of the studying for this particular unit. All right, my friends, I hope this series is super helpful to you. It's taking and consolidating all of your studies, and my idea is that if you watch this video, when you think you're ready for the test, you will find out if you actually are. That's the idea of this IB Core Concepts series. And I hope you found this video to be helpful. Be kind to one another out there, and we'll talk to you in a bit.